Sip slow, sip slow, sip slow, sip slow, sip slow, sip slow, sip slow.
Frank Lee, homie.
I'm only sipping it slow. Come with me on a ride. I'm only sipping it slow. Take a sip, I bet it get you right. And I only speak it if it's real, yeah. Only spill it if it's true, yeah. Everybody want the tea, so you already know the deal. I always sip slow. Come with me on a ride. I'm only sipping it slow. Only helping you grow. Tell you things that you need to hear, not only things you wanna know. Keeping you up on your current events, I swear the world's so cold. Talking about marriage and sports too. Man, you gotta catch the show. You better believe me. Got Allen T. Weezy, J. Martin, that JT, make it look easy. Whenever they speaking about any topic, if I spoke about it, I was really about it. Ain't no front, I was real about it. In my white cup, it got Hen inside it. It's a message for everybody. Now I'm only sipping it slow. Come with me on a ride. I'm only sipping it slow. Take a sip, I bet it gets you right. And I only speak it if it's real, yeah. Only spill it if it's true, yeah. Everybody want the tea, so you already know the deal. I always sip slow. Come with me on a ride. I'm only sipping it slow.
Welcome to the Sip Slow Podcast. Real people, real conversations. It's your boy, Mr. Money Don't Sleep, so T Weezy can't rest. What's up?
What's up, everybody? This your boy J-Dub, man. Happy to be here.
Yes, sir. Your boy Al in the building once again.
Al G in the building.
Another week.
Another week, man. I know last week we didn't do nothing. Little storm kind of had made us regroup a little bit, so we back today, man. We feels good to be back with the fellas, and we gonna kick some fire today. So, Dub, man, what you sipping on?
Man, I got a little of that Evan Williams with a splash of Coke, some lemon juice, and some of that simple syrup.
All right. You got a whole setup. Come on.
Tried a little something.
Yes, sir. My boy, T, what you on, man?
Man, I'm sipping on some Evans Williams myself. Great minds think alike with a little cranberry grape.
Okay. So y'all brothers on that. Okay. Me, I'm doing that Claude VSOP, little splash of Sprite. Keep it simple.
Well, that's that good stuff too, man. That's that good stuff, boy.
What y'all been up to this week?
Man, it's been one of them weeks here. Thankful. It was good. Wasn't too busy, but at the same time, had a few opportunities to take advantage of. So definitely appreciate it.
Trying to catch up from the storm, huh?
Man, that storm. Yeah, I know we'll talk about it a little later, but yeah, that storm, man, that storm caused a lot of issues, set some things back, but thankfully we still healthy and alive and got an opportunity. So trying to take advantage of each day. How about you?
Man, I didn't do much, man. Just go to work as usual, man, and try to keep my head above water. That's about it, man.
I heard that, a head above water. Yeah, nah, man. I ain't did much. Hollering at gas. It's been a little busy since the storm because a lot of your gas stations been out of gas, so we've been out there trying to get it. So just thankful to be here one more time, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
Me and Al was talking earlier today about how a man can um, get fussed at, hollered at, cussed at, maybe said sometimes by his wife or girlfriend, but man, as soon as you say something to them, boy, it's like the world had ended, man. What you think about that, Doug?
Of course, man. You know, it's always one side is supposed to win kind of idea. You don't talk to me the same way I talk to you. You know that ain't right. You know, if you I've always lived by if you're gonna be able to dish it, you better be able to take it. You know, I ain't gonna do nothing. It shouldn't even come to the point where you cussing or hollering at me like that, and then I can't. Hell, we human. We
Right.
human, and naturally, I mean, I'm gonna feel attacked if you raising your voice like that, or you saying other English words that don't need to be said. I'm gonna take it and feel attacked, or you may either do that. I'm gonna respond, or you're gonna be upset because I'm gonna walk away from you and ignore you.
Yeah, a lot of times it seems like, boy, when they don't get their way, that's when it really they might hit you below the belt.
Man,
Yeah, like
It never fails.
nah. And so Al asked me why is that, and I say, well, man, I just think they want their way, and maybe we be good men to them, and they used to getting their way, but it's something. It's something to deal with.
you know
Yeah,
what?
What you
See, I,
think?
I had did some thinking on that, man, and maybe you're right. Maybe it's really our fault. You know why? Because, like you say, we great men and we treat them with all the utmost respect, and we doing that, this, that, and the third. Well, they get a little used to it. They get a little spoiled on that. You know what I mean? So now that's what they expect. That's the norm for them. So anytime you go a little less than the norm or say something a little louder than she think you should say it, now you're tripping. Now you're being disrespectful. Now you're raising your voice. I'm like, I just get excited, so I may talk a little louder. I'm not trying to yell, but I'm just trying to be heard. It's kind of hard for you to hear me if you're talking.
That's right. But it seemed like in them times they don't want to hear what you got to say. Appreciate you joining us, Lloyd. Anybody watching us on Facebook Live right now, man, feel free to type in and comment, and we'll address it when we see it. But yeah, maybe that's a lot of reasons why a lot of these guys scared to be married, commitment, because when you got multiple women or you're a single man, some things you just don't have to deal with. But man, when you in here like us, all three of us married men, yeah, sometimes you just gotta bite that bullet and just deal with it.
yeah. And eventually, pressure will bust a pipe. You know, you can only take so much. That's abuse, man. It's verbal abuse. Now, again, it's one thing if you in an argument or something and they got reason. But when you just talking to me because something didn't go right or go your way, don't expect me to respond as cordial as I normally may do because we can talk. No, we adults. Don't let's not get to hollering.
Yeah, it's a lot of times you get what you give. Um, but man, you are listening to the Sip Slow podcast. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. We appreciate it. So, Doug, man, you got some free game for us today?
Man, I wanted to kind of take it back. Hang on one second here. MLK, I think he said it best. He said, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then crawl. And if you can't crawl, then, I mean, if you can't walk, then crawl. But the main thing is you have to keep moving, keep going. So I just want to tell everybody, no matter what's happening, what's going on in your life, don't give up. Keep moving forward.
Man, that's great words of wisdom right there,
Nice gym, nice gym.
for sure. Well, last week we had the winter storm here in Texas, and I think it's been maybe since the 1800s since we had weather that that cold. I think some of us was in the single digits. Some wind chill was in the negatives, and it was rough. Uh, when the last time we recorded was on Valentine's Day, and that's when it started coming in later that evening. So I went outside later on, and I started seeing icicles on my coming off my roof. So I was like, man, it's gonna get real. So our first topic is, what was your winter storm experience? Al, how was yours?
Well, man, I can first off say we were blessed, man. I mean, the most we seen that, we saw the snow, we saw the wind chill, all that, but we were fortunate enough to not lose any water. We didn't lose power. I mean, we just heard the little, sleet hitting the windows. We seen the snow. And for the first time since 2009, we actually used our fireplace, believe it or not. So I was able to, learn how the fireplace work. I didn't know it was as easy as just pressing the on button and it come on. But, I had to learn that because, down here we don't use fireplaces. So, yeah, that was an experience for me. But, yeah, we were blessed, man, to say the least.
You got a gas fireplace?
Yeah, it's gas, but it's, ran by the little clicker. It's got the electric igniter where you just press on and it
Right.
strikes. And that's it. You're good.
So you wasn't out there looking for firewood and all that.
No, sir. Thank God. No, I had a lot of friends that was going through that, but I was fortunate enough not to do that, man.
Okay, okay. Well, um, similar to you, Al, we didn't have any issues. On Wednesday night, we had at about 5 p.m. our power went out, and then it came back on by 11 p.m. that night. So, hearing stories from other people, other friends, other family members, I know we was blessed just for those 6 hours to only have our power out, because a lot of people, had a lot worse. But in those 6 hours, it was game changing. You know, I if it was just say me and my wife, that's cool. Um, my wife was was in the kitchen cooking, and while she was cooking, the power went off. So you know, with kids, that's the part that adds an extra dynamic to the situation. So me and my wife could get in the bed and cuddle up. You feel me? And, we can make do, but the kids, they don't understand what's going on because they used to power, and you can't blame them. But other than that, man, we did a lot of drinking, a lot of sipping on wine, uh, and we was blessed. That's all I can say. We was able to still cook. We had water, no busted pipes. So yeah, we was blessed. But I know Doug will have a different story.
Oh man, yeah, it was. Well, first of all, it was a beautiful thing to even get the opportunity to see snow and see snow stick here in Texas the way it did. Now, we unfortunately, matter of fact, it was Sunday night, probably about 11 o'clock. I was doing some stuff and I could see the lights flicker a little bit. And like yourself, T, I had gone outside and I saw things kind of freezing up and stuff on the car. You could hear it where it was freezing on the trees, and I was like, man, I sure hope this power don't go out. And sure enough, it probably about 25, 30 minutes later, just heard boom, everything just went black. So, thankfully we had our heat on prior to that, although it wasn't, nothing once that cold started coming.
But this was Sunday, right?
This was Sunday. So
Sunday
we
night.
Sunday night, right a little before midnight, the power went out. So, it was late. I was the only one up. So I was like, what, forget it. Let me just go ahead and get in the bed. Got up that next morning, man, no power. So we went through all of Monday, no power. Power came on for like, I want to say maybe an hour that evening, and then went right back off. So we was out of power for that night. Tuesday, we had one of my wife's coworkers. He and his wife, they got little small children, so our power came back on for a few minutes that morning. It's like, you know what, give them a call. I don't want them to be stuck out with little babies. So we called them over. Everything was going good. They were here for about 2, 3 hours. We had cooked some food, and everybody was kind of chilling. Next thing you know, boom, power went out again. So here we go. Once this went out, this was probably about 11 o'clock Tuesday during the day. We ain't had no power again until sometime before day Thursday. We didn't have water all Monday and part of Tuesday, and then we got back on the grid after that. At some point, like I said, Thursday. But I prayed, man. I was like, Lord, I just ain't ready for no pipes bursting. Whatever you can do, if you see fit, cover us, man. And thankfully we didn't have any busted pipes. But my neighbors across the street, two neighbors to the left and right of me, all had pipes burst. Two neighbors down the street, man. So it was bad. But I will say this throughout that storm. I mean, it allows you to really appreciate what you do have.
Yeah.
It's so much that we take for granted on a daily basis. So much wasted stuff we use with lights so when it got to the point where you just sitting in total darkness and nothing but your thoughts and your family, you can only try to make the most of it. We talked. We just did a whole lot of talking, honestly.
So why why did y'all why you didn't have water? What happened
I
on this one?
I honestly think the pipes had froze. I mean, I don't think water had stopped. We just turned them on. I tried to keep them on a little drip, but man, it just wasn't coming out. We didn't have water, so we used one bathroom, and our neighbors got a pool. They were like, if y'all need to, you can come get some water out the pool to help flush your stuff down, because that's what they were doing. But we had some of those 5 gallon water jugs. We just used that for the time being. But boy, it was rough, man. It was rough, and
Yeah, we kept our water dripping. I had mine in my restroom, um, and then in my wife's restroom. Well, wife and kids. 'Cause she don't like to share the restroom with me, but that's another story. And then we left it on in the kitchen, so everything stayed good. Like I say, we only had that power outage for about 6 hours on Wednesday. Um, it's been a lot of talk about what happened and maybe what caused that. And then a big story also was Ted Cruz going to Cancun while this was going on. So, Doug, what's your thoughts on Senator of Texas Ted Cruz going to Cancun?
man, I was kind of mixed on it at first. I was looking at it like, man, okay, if nothing else, this man, he has the means to, and if a flight leaving out, because some people were leaving where they were staying to go somewhere else to stay where they'd had power and stuff. So I mean, when it from that standpoint, it's like, okay, he was just moving from somewhere to a better situation in a sense. But then I got to think, I was like, man, you're a senator of the U.S. I mean, of Texas, so you basically abandoning your troop in a sense. I mean, we sit up here, you've been voted in uh to help make decisions, best decisions on, and then you leave because you have the ability to leave. But I didn't think it was right. After I kind of just thought about it a little bit more, I was like, no, this man here he has a position of power, and he shouldn't have done that. I mean, that was like an insult, slap in the face, so you can just roll out and leave.
Yeah, at first I'm like, well, man, what was Ted Cruz gonna do if he'd stayed? He wasn't gonna get your lights back on or stop your pipes from being busted. So, you know, I I think a lot of it is just politics. I know he said some fly stuff last year about a senator who, kind of did the same thing, left his state or his district, and he made a little fuss about it. So, a lot of times it's just karma. It just come back on you. So that's how I felt about it. But a lot of people made a lot of fuss about it. LG, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm kind of like on the side where it wasn't that big of a deal to me. I mean, because he really couldn't do much if he was here. But now, if you say, which I didn't know about, if he did make a big fuss about someone else doing the same thing, then you can't be the pot calling the kettle black now. So in that sense, then maybe he should have stayed. Or as Dub was talking about, if you're the captain of the ship, you go down with the ship. You don't jump ship. You go down with it. So that's just my easy take on that.
For sure. Yeah, Lord, like Dub said, and you saying too, yeah, it allowed us to appreciate all the things we have and not take them for granted. And that's for sure because, when times like this happen, even hurricanes, you need to, you really need some survival skills. You really need to know what to do when things are not just perfect. We need to have some water, store it up, and a lot of people got by on generators. I had my partner Trey Taylor from El Campo. Man, they lost power Sunday, and it didn't come back up on and off like that. It was out. So he was like, man, we had a little small generator. Thankful that we had it and we was able to get through. So, these are some of the things that we need to start investing in because a lot of, we just take things for granted until something happens. So you are listening to the Sip Slow podcast. Our next topic is, do African Americans deserve reparations? I put this in the chat because this week the Democrats introduced a bill called H.R. 40. This was a commission to study and develop reparation proposals for African Americans. So therefore, right there, it's a commission and it's a study. And first off, you do have to give the Democrats or Joe Biden credit for trying to even address the situation, right or wrong.
Right.
Respect, yeah.
You got to respect it. But I just don't see why there needs to be a study for this. So you have slaves are the people that built this country. Slaves made many people rich. Slaves was farmers, 40 acres and a mule. Slavery stripped those people from their families, their country, their culture, and their spirituality. Also, America has given money to many countries that we went to war with to help them rebuild where we've bombed and killed people over there. So also the U.S. gives money to immigrants that come to this country a lot of times. That's why you see a lot of these Arabs with the corner stores. With all, they get bread to come over here to get a start. So I think we do deserve reparations because if you can give all these other folks stuff who haven't done nothing for the country, African Americans have fought in every war that this country has fought in.
Yep.
On top of that, our country is the only country that has not been at war with the United States. Africa has never been at war with America, but Germany and the Britons, all these other countries, we've been over there fighting, or they've had some conflict with us. So
Right.
I think that kudos to Joe Biden and Kamala for even bringing this up. I think Texas Senator or House of Representative Sheila Jackson Lee was the chair on this bill, and they had pretty much where they had people come in and speak on why we should have reparations or not. And she was the leader of this, and they had other senators and House of Representatives on the panel. But kudos to them for just sparking the discussion. But to me, it shouldn't even be a discussion. Something should be done. Now, I'm not sitting here saying how much we should get or this or that, but I do think we deserve something.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's a hard one. Um, I didn't go through slavery, but before my people went through slavery. So to me, to get a dollar amount, I don't think you can necessarily put a dollar amount on that. What I would like to see, if there is to be some sort of reparation, is maybe yes, it's a monthly, some type of a monthly stipend to every black. But why not just take it further? Maybe they put something in place to where education can be free. Maybe if not a full, post high school, whatever. Maybe 2 years of free education for any African American that wants to go to school, or maybe it's set aside an amount of money for if somebody has a business that they want to start. This money is no requirements, no checklist. It's like, okay, if you need to start a business, as long as you have a true plan, here is some allotted amount of money for you to use and need without any credit run or anything like that, or no payback. Something to make it. I would just hate to reap a lot of those benefits financially like that from the ones who actually suffered. But if there is something in place to where they can utilize it for the betterment and the greater good, or even well, yeah, like I say, starting a business. This is my opinion. Starting a business, having something like that, or even education, and more like a monthly stipend.
Yeah, Dub, I would have to agree with you on that. That's some great ideas. I agree with both of y'all, but I guess I was kind of in the same boat with you, Dub. I was more like free healthcare.
Yeah, there you go.
Free life insurance, things of that nature, because we that have it, we don't realize how much it actually costs, because maybe our employers pay most of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I know some people that have to pay it out of pocket, and man, let me tell you, it ain't cheap. You know what I'm saying? So I think that would be a great thing to have free healthcare.
Yeah.
Maybe free life insurance, just things of that nature, where you do get some kind of reparations, but not so much just a financial check, if you will.
Great point.
Yeah, that was a great point, Al. Great point. I didn't even think of that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if y'all, into that stuff, or just trying to get economics right for African American people, check out Dr. Claude Anderson. That's Claude Anderson, who's been in politics. He's worked for presidents for over 50 years. He has books called Powernomics. He has a website, I think it's powernomics.com. And like I say, he has books on what we need to do as Black people to get economic freedom, because all of the education, well, I don't want to say that, but money is what's going to talk. Money is what's going to really set you free. So just saying, well, you free and this and that, but just like when the slaves was freed, well, they didn't have any money, they didn't have any land, they didn't have anywhere to go. So what happens? A lot of them ended up staying on the plantation, still working for master because they didn't have anything. So
They didn't have slave by title; they had slave by way of life.
right, and we all are slave to some extent
Right.
because if you don't have any ownership, you still slave to somebody. So, but Dr. Claude Anderson, and I brought him up because he came up with a number that each African American should get around about $344,000, even though it's no price on what our ancestors went through, but we are hundreds of years behind because we didn't have anything.
Absolutely.
So that's important to factor in right there. Like I said, you got immigrants come over here and the government give them money, but yet and still the people that built this place that you've stolen ideas from and inventions, we don't get anything. So but let me throw this too at y'all. How do you feel about going to the oppressor, asking him for something?
Well, I think the government is going to be the biggest oppressor regardless. I don't see it shouldn't be any back, any pushback uh, to get something. But I mean, again, slavery still hadn't ended. It's just taking a different form right now. So whether I don't have a problem going to them, but you need to uphold your word about what's rightly due. And if we do come to you, there shouldn't be any questions asked. I don't think, but it's as long as we live under this government, we're gonna still have to go to the oppressor, unfortunately.
Al, do you think we will ever get reparations? Do you think something will come of this?
To be honest with you, man, I think it's a waste of time. And even thinking about it, I don't see it happening, not in this lifetime, not for the next 20, 40 years. So long story short, I don't see it ever happening.
Yeah, I tend to kind of agree with you. I don't think they're gonna do nothing. I think it's just something to kind of pacify us, and they might just keep studying it. So yeah, I'd be surprised if we do get something or something comes of this discussion, Dub.
Or if they do it, I mean, they're just gonna find some type of a way to still have us run into something to where even if we do get it, okay, yeah, we didn't gave y'all this, just be quiet. And now they may just turn back and be like, we've given you everything you asked for. Why? What now? And that's why I think part of the mentality has to change of like, okay, what is actually going to be reparation to you? What would you like to see, and how would you like to do with it? But I don't think it's gonna happen at all. It's too hard. It's too hard for that to be done at this point in time.
Right. Yeah, like Lord say, they will always always find an excuse to not give
Yeah.
reparations. And I think so. I think it's just something to, like I said, pacify us and make us think about it, but I don't see it happening. So you are listening to the Sip Slow podcast.
Shout out to Lloyd Langston. I forgot where he moved to, but good to hear from you, boy.
Yeah,
He out
Lord
there in
over there, Rosenberg.
Rosenberg, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You used to beat up Lord on that basketball court, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I wish Mo was here, man. You know, he would have talked on that, but so will a relationship ever be 50-50?
What you think about that, Al?
Man, as crazy as it may sound, I don't think it will ever. I see Lloyd laughing at that. I don't think it will ever be 50-50. You can try your hardest to make it 50-50, but it's like anything else. There's nothing going to be exactly the same. So somebody's going to still be doing more than the other. Somebody's going to be taking less, things than the other. So, well, let's just, before we go dive in, the answer, no. I don't ever see it being 50-50.
Yeah, I agree with you, Al. I agree. I think we've talked about this in earlier episodes where, like a lot of things, well, a lot of stuff on Facebook lately has been, well, the man should pay all the bills and hold it down. But, that's not 50-50 either. You know what I mean? But I'll let you go, Doug, before we get more deep in it. But yeah, what you think, Doug?
50-50, no. I don't. So the way I look at it is if it is going to be 50-50, I hope it's the same, y'all. The both man and woman are on the same path for the relationship or the family. But when it comes to the other stuff of the responsibilities or the discipline and anything like that, or usually it's not gonna happen when it comes to that.
Well, I know I've said this, a few times on the show, prior episode, but my wife hadn't worked in shit over two years. So me and Al was talking one day, and he was like, I was like, yeah, man, my wife don't work. And he was like, you pay all the bills. I was like, yeah. He was like, man, I salute that. I say, yeah, I know, I appreciate that. But on the other side, I say, well, look, Al, when I come home, everything is taken care of. The kids are taken care of. Food is cooked. My plate is fixed. Laundry is done. So even though on a financial level, it's not 50-50, but in a relationship level, it all got to equal up to 100. Come on now.
Man, great point, boy.
Exactly. That's why you got to be on that same path. You right. You're absolutely right.
So what you're saying, see, it don't have to be necessarily equal giving or giving. It should be equal sacrifice.
There you go.
Right. We need to get to 100. Now, the way you and your wife get to 100, it might be different from the way me and Dub get there.
Yes, sir.
But it can't be 50 or 75. We got to get to 100. So a lot of times I think we look at it as, this person got to do this and that. But as long as we can get to that 100 and we both agree upon that, I think that's where it's at.
Yeah, that's a great point. See, you made me change my mind for as that, because if you look at it that way, then I guess it is 50-50. Now, we were thinking more so like 50-50 being the same exact, but if you break it down that way, which is a great point, by the way, well, yeah, if it's that way, I guess it can be 50-50. You look at it that way.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I mean, everybody's different. My wife may bring a whole lot more in one area to the table than I can bring. Am I going to be upset if she does that? Or what I may bring to the table, she may lack in one other area. No, but if it's all leading down that one path, funnel to where we both want to be for our relationship and family, that's the 50-50 that I'm talking about, that I look for. And again, the weight on little small stuff, that ain't going if you have to look at it that way, then it's not gonna ever equal out. But when you both working on, one person catching the slack for this other person on this end, and working together and towards your goal, like you say, 100 is the goal. How we get there, it don't matter.
Yes, sir.
No, that's right. That's right. So, man, you are listening to the Sip So podcast.
That's a great point, y'all. I didn't even think about it as much until you started talking and Al, and sharing that stuff. Do you think we sometimes have it wrong as what we look at as far as the 50-50 balance, and why some people may be getting frustrated in their relationships?
I really never really thought about trying to do 50-50. Just me. What about you, Al?
Going into it, I've always thought, before I got married, of course, the man's supposed to take care of this and this, that, and the other. But, times change. Nowadays you got women making more than men. You know what I'm saying? So you have women going to work and the man stay home, take care of the children. That to me is kind of weird, but hey, it happens. So whatever works in their family, hey, it is what it is. But as I've said in past episode, I want that power couple, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So I do my thing. I work. I bring my ends in. I do what I do. She works. She bring her ends in. She do what she do. So now it's not me leaning on her financially. It's not her leaning on me financially. We're doing it together as a couple, which I call the power couple. It makes the things a lot easier, in my opinion.
Yeah, yes, it does. But to answer your question, Dub, yeah, I do think that's probably a downfall of some relationships, or people go into them thinking that way. Like I said, me myself, like Al said about a man taking care of things, that's what I saw my father do. Take care of the house, and then my mother would take care of everything inside the house. So, that's just how I grew up. That's just how I was raised. Not necessarily being taught that, just observation. You know what I mean? So, uh, but the other person has to bring something to the table. That might not be financially. That might be emotionally. That might be, like I said, with the kids. If you don't work, there's no reason why the house should be dirty. Uh, take some other stress off of that man. And vice versa. If the man is at home, he needs to take stress off his wife. So
Absolutely.
That's just how I see it.
Absolutely.
Great point.
Right. So yes, you are listening to the Sip Slow podcast. So, fellas, when you mad, will you turn down sex? Al G.
Al, you gonna start that off, man?
Man, I think I'm speaking for all men, but we're going to find out here in a minute. I'm going to give you the short answer first. Hell no, I ain't turned down sex at all. I'm going to leave it at that. But go ahead, fellas.
Weezy, you want to jump on that?
Yeah. Yes, I have turned down sex. Yeah, because you kind of gotta prove a point.
Yeah.
Lord.
No, I agree. I mean, I so here, I'm gonna jump on. Because I see where Al coming from. Like what R. Kelly say, my mind's telling me no,
yes,
but my body.
sir.
So, but at the same time, man, no, I have done it before. Matter of fact, as early as last week, one time. So, but because my idea of
Let's throw under that bus.
So you have some times when you want to just get it, and then you have the times when you, as a marriage or relationship, you want to enjoy it. And so if it's to the point where I know mentally I want to enjoy it, and I'm in the mindset like that, then no, I can deal with
Man,
without. This one time ain't gonna hurt me if it
Right,
don't
right.
happen all the
man.
time. So shoot, but yeah, no, I don't have a problem turning it down either.
And let me say this real quick, fellas. Y'all got to understand, y'all been married for some time, so I'm just getting started. I'm new in this game, so I'm still early. I'm still young. Hey, I ain't turning down nothing on me at all. But y'all been so long in the game, y'all know we've been married X amount of years. I can turn it down today. I'll be back good tomorrow. My mindset is, from what I hear, some cats, they get married, they get it once every 3-4 months. So I ain't trying to get on that train. So if I got a chance, I'm going in.
Yeah, I hear y'all, but sometimes, like Lloyd said, man, you gotta prove a point.
Mhm.
Now, sometimes is that the best decision? No.
What you have to what you got to look at is if the shoe was on the other foot and she was mad at you, do you think
Oh,
you go? Yeah,
you ain't getting nothing.
Wow.
exactly,
You you
exactly.
you might even offer to,
It'll do whatever.
do whatever. No,
Ain't nothing
Yeah,
happening.
so you gotta put value on yourself.
yeah, yeah.
And that way, like we talked about at the top of the show, about how women get upset and talk to you any kind of way. Well, you gotta let them know, well, hey, I'm valuable just like you, and that thing gonna get hot. It's gonna want some up in it, but no, you're not gonna get that today,
Yeah, you have to do that.
because if you don't do that, Al, she gonna keep on talking to you how she want, and then whenever she want to get what she want, she it's all good. Then you might even give her a piece, and once she get to where she need to be to, that's it, and you stuck there holding the ball.
Hey man, I appreciate y'all giving me that advice, man. But if that's the case, how long was it before you guys decided? When I say how long, how many years were y'all married? Just off the top of your head, I know you don't know the exact date. About how long was it, years wise, you were married before you decided to do that?
Nah, Al, it's just on principle. It's off GP.
So I'm gonna tell
Nigga,
you something,
I
man.
go in there and rub that thing out if it come
Yeah,
to it.
yeah.
That's on God.
You got one person that ain't gonna never give up on me. Hey,
Shit.
I said, never give up.
I got my X videos. Oh, shit, it's whatever.
Hey Al, no, you still new, man, but no, you do have to, you have to. It's not even so much proving the point, but you just have to hold true to you. Like if you upset, like, oh man, I ain't got time for that. Then now maybe the next day if you come around and still on something, that's different. But that in that moment,
Right.
no man, pass that up. It's gonna start slowing down for you anyway, man. You starting to have kids. Don't worry. Things change.
Well,
What's say lotion and
I ain't
internet?
That
gonna
was that lotion.
say, yeah, man. Yeah, you got to. You got to. Like I said, you can't. You got to value yourself, man, and you know, you can go without that for one night.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I
know,
guess I'm a little weak minded, man. I gotta work on it. I can admit that as a man, because I ain't gonna lie, bro. I could be mad as hell, but they're about to go down. I was mad. Shit, I forgot I was mad.
But what
does
happens
that make
afterward? Who's still mad?
Yeah, you probably right on that. That's the crazy thing, because it come back after it's all said and done, and now you get the thing about what you were mad about. You still mad, she's still glad. So yeah, I gotta change it up a little bit.
so? Say you mad, you go in. Does Does it rectify the situation? Like, is everything good now? Y'all afterwards hold each other or whatever?
For that moment, everything's straight. You think nothing ever even happened. Now, if it was something I was mad about prior to, I might think about that, hours later when I'm going to work somewhere. But at that moment, man, seriously, I straight up forget I was mad.
You forget a lot
So
of stuff there.
you just want to get that act out. You want to get that pressure out.
Yes, sir. Sometimes, you get a little rougher since you was mad, but then you like, hold up, I can't, hold up, I'm talking too much now. Let me chill out. But anyway,
Yeah.
I'm just
Hey,
saying, I'm one of them people, man. Like y'all say, I'm new in the game. I just had my first son, so I ain't went down that road where cats got to go 3 months without it. I ain't done none of that yet, so I had to learn.
Yeah.
and honestly, it's not gonna be every time you mad.
Hey, hold
Yeah, I
up, Doug. You
mean,
see what Lloyd say? That's probably real. After about 10 years from now, I
uh,
learn. I learn.
yeah, it ain't gonna be every time you mad, but every now and then you have to go ahead and be like, look, no, it ain't happening tonight or today or this morning, whatever you want to do.
Oh, it's gonna throw her
Yeah.
off when I try it, dog. It's gonna throw her off. I'm gonna have to try that, man.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
here's the thing though. Until you have done it, then she's gonna be thinking like, well, what you got going on?
yeah.
You know
Oh,
that because women can play a whole lot of different things in their head, and and especially if you always own it, and then all of a sudden you turning it down, what's wrong with this nigga?
oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
They gonna think you got something that's going on, but they gonna play mind games with you too. So you just gotta stay strong. You gotta stay
And
strong, but
You play the same game.
nah, some stuff you just gotta, whatever the argument is, like you gotta stand on your square. Now, like Dub said, every battle ain't that battle. So
Yeah,
sometimes you do have to put your foot down and just say, "Nah, we're not gonna do that." I
yeah,
value myself a little bit more than that. You know what I mean?
I got you. It makes sense because they definitely gonna do it to you. I know that, no question.
Oh, you ain't getting nothing. Better not touch them.
matter of fact, don't even
Yeah, they been kicked your hand or slapped it. Well, you better not do nothing.
you be lucky to get a good night kiss
Man.
So, have y'all ever slept on the couch or something like that?
on purpose or
Nah, like wife, like nah, you can't come up in here.
now. No, that's one thing that I had said a long time ago. This is both of our bed. This is both of our house. We live
Right.
in here, so we can be upset. I can turn my back. You can turn your back, but I'm gonna go ahead and lay in my bed unless I just choose to. I've never and never been put in a position to not be in there either. I take
Nah,
that back.
that's the way I feel too. Like I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
That been crazy, Lord. Lord, man, what you sipping on out there, Lord? Lord, on something.
Lord, man, don't listen to this, man. You sleeping on the bed last night. Don't be listening to us, man. You go in there and do what you gotta do, but yeah, nah, I ain't gonna sleep on no couch, man.
Hey, well,
Uh,
y'all cats, I've never experienced that. My thing was always, I talked to this old school dude growing up, before I got serious with women. And he would always tell me he was married like 30 years at the time. And he was saying, you never want to go to bed mad. That's one thing. And he said, don't ever tell your wife to go to another room or don't you ever go to another room. He said, because the first day you start that, it's
Hmm.
like anything else. That becomes a process. That's something that you begin to do a lot of. And now you wonder why y'all so distant. He say, so whatever you got to do, if y'all just got to just shut up and talk about it another time, if y'all got to work it out, don't go to bed mad and don't have nobody go to another room and that. So I kind of went by that and it's been working for me. So now we ain't sleeping on no couch.
I think a lot of it too is it's kind of a evolving thing. I mean, you get to a point. I mean, the younger part of or the early part of our marriage, it was just like, you know what, you gonna prove your point, I'm gonna prove my point. If whatever it is, it is. And then it kind of you start kind of looking past that and seeing more like, you know what, no matter what, it's arguments are a part of marriage. Disagreements are part of marriage. Not getting done is a part of it. Getting whatever the case may be, I'm gonna still live on and I'm gonna have my marriage regardless. So that's why I say, to still stay in your bed. I think that's important, and you're not gonna always see eye to eye, but it doesn't take away from your love or your marriage of pressing forward.
Okay.
Al, you mentioned about not going to bed angry, and yes, we do try to live by that code. Now, if if I'm angry, then my wife live by that code. Hey, well, we shouldn't go to bed angry, but let her be mad. That's out the window. It don't matter then. She mad, but normally the next day, we'll hash it out. And man, when you love somebody, you're gonna have a little argument here and there, but love should always win out at the end of the day. So, but yeah, that's a good thing to live by because God forbid something happen, you go to sleep and don't wake up, and y'all was fighting. That person that's left behind is gonna be a toll on them if the last thoughts and the last conversation was a argument. So I do think that's a good thing to live by, not going to bed angry. So yeah, well, that was a good topic right there.
Yeah, but the point is, yeah, you're right. It was a good topic,
Yeah, go
but it's
on,
been made.
Dub.
No, I was just gonna say the point of it is it's been made, and one way that I've done before, you do your best to not go to bed mad. It's just like, what, let's stop now, and let's give this some time, and we'll go to sleep and we'll pick back up on it. That way, at least you both have cleared, on the same page of clearing. Like, okay, we can let this go for now.
I feel you, Lord. That's what I just said, man.
Our next
Uh,
special guest on this show gonna be Mr. Lloyd
that's
Langston.
right, for sure.
He still
But
ain't
you all,
shout out what he's drinking on, man. What you sipping on, Lord? Send it out.
Lord, stay on a natural high today.
That's what he
Okay.
said.
Yeah, man, we appreciate the interaction too. So, if you listen to this, please like, subscribe, share. Even if you watch this on a replay, leave a message. We can address that on the next show. So you are listening to the Sipsto podcast. We saw last week where Draymond Green was talking about how the players was treated. Um, Dub, you think you got that on deck?
Yeah, we're gonna try to play a little clip here. Hopefully everybody can hear and listen in. All right.
Something that's really bothering me, and it's the treatment of players in this league. To watch Andre Drummond before the game sit on the sideline, then go to the back, and then come out in street clothes because a team is going to trade him. Because when James Harden asked for a trade and essentially dogged it, I don't think there was no surprise or there's no one's going to fight back that James was dogging it his last days in Houston. But he was castrated for wanting to go to a different team, and everybody destroyed that man. And yet a team can come out and say, oh, we want to trade a guy, and then that guy is to go sit. And if he doesn't stay professional, then he's a cancer, and he's not good in someone's locker room, and he's the issue. And we've seen situations of Harrison Barnes getting pulled off the bench. DeMarcus Cousins finding out that he's traded in an interview after the All-Star game. And we continue to let this happen. But I got fined for stating my opinion of what I thought should happen with another player. But teams can come out and continue to say, oh, we're trading guys, we're not playing you. And yet we're to stay professional. At some point, as players, we need to be treated with the same respect and have the same rights that the team can have. Because as a player, you're the worst person in the world when you want a different situation. But a team can say they're trading you, and that man is to stay in shape. He is to stay professional. And if not, his career is on the line. At some point, this league has to protect the players from embarrassment like that. You know, we talk all of this stuff about you can't do this, you can't say that publicly. If you say that publicly, you're fine. Anthony Davis got fined, I think, $100,000 or something like that for demanding a trade publicly. But you can say Andre Drummond's getting traded publicly, and we're looking to trade him publicly, and he's to stay professional and just deal with it. But then when Kyrie Irving say, oh, my mental health is off, everybody go crazy about that too. Do you not think that affects someone mentally? As much as we put into this game to be great, to come out here and be in shape, to produce for fans every single night, and most importantly, to help your team win, do you think that doesn't affect someone mentally? But as players, we're told to, no, you can't say that, you can't say this, but teams can. It goes along the same lines of when everyone wants to say, oh man, that young guy can't figure it out. But no one wants to say the organization can't figure it out. At some point, the players must be respected in these situations, and it's ridiculous, and I'm sick of seeing it. Y'all have a great night. I'll see y'all tomorrow or Wednesday.
Yes, I agree with Draymond. We'll pass it around though before I go in.
Well, I most definitely
go
agree.
ahead, Al.
I wholeheartedly agree. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, I think he's, so what did the owner of the Texans say a couple of years back? You don't want the inmates to start trying to run the
asylum
or whatnot. It's no different here, and what Draymond said is absolutely right. I mean, the players go out there and do all of this work, put in all this time. Yeah, you may be under contract. I get it. But it doesn't mean that I don't have a right as a human being, or I have feelings, or I have emotions that I can and cannot express, or my opinion, and you get mad at me for it. I hope more players would at least speak up about that. But again, not everyone's going to do that. But I do believe Draymond is 100% accurate in what he's saying, and much needed. So I'm glad he did say that.
Yes. Like I said, I agree with Draymond, because when the owners, when you can't do anything else for the team, you're not helpful, they're going to let you go. And as long as you're doing good and putting up numbers, hey, they're going to keep you around and you making them money. So at the end of the day, this is a business. None of us have ever played pro ball, but, we hear that, hey, this is a business. This is a business, whether that's MLB, NFL, or NBA. So the players have to look at it that way. You can't get in love with these owners or general managers, because they looking at their bottom line at the end of the day. That's just the way I see it. Also, the people and the fans are not coming to see the owners play. They're coming to see the players. But the players keep staying in this system. I think we have Ice Cube, who started the Big Three. That is a nice little blueprint on how you can start up a little league. And like I said, the players are the attraction. You have all the power. Many of you have made damn near millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. If you don't like the system that you're in, why not try to come up with something your own league. Because whether these players are playing at Willie Bell Park, Harris Park, or Harmon Park, people will come out to see it. The television companies will want to broadcast it because you're not going to watch the other product. So, other than that, if you're not willing to do that, you're going to keep dealing with these situations because, you know, the owner looking at you as if you just property. And even though you making $40 million a year, that owner making $200-300 million a year. Al?
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with Draymond Green, but not to sound redundant, but as you mentioned, T, you know, they always throw that slang out, that little verse out there. It's only business. It's only business. But it's ironic when the players go in, like he said, you know, want to be traded or want to go here and there. They can't use it's just a business. They get ridiculed. They get like embarrassed. So, you know, I agree with everything he's saying because it's bad that it's like that. But as you say, T, they're really paying to see the players. And the players, as Draymond Green mentioned, they're the ones that's putting their bodies on the line, working out day in and day out, you know, risking injury, and the whole list goes on. But for them to be treated that way, I agree with him. And it's about time that someone said something. And I have a whole different level of respect for Draymond Green for actually speaking out like that and using his platform to get his word across. So salute to Draymond Green.
Yeah, it's a tough situation because, you know, I would say 99% of the players, well, 99.99% of the players are not gonna they're not gonna be bold enough to step away from that if you can't hear our cry and if you can't respect our feelings and emotions because the money is too good. You know, they made it to a position that they've arrived that a lot of people will never get to. And are they willing to, just based on their feelings and thoughts, are they willing to give it all up in order to prove that point? Or will it become just still me voicing my opinion? And the unfortunate part is the 3-on-3 that T mentioned, nobody was coming out for Ice Cube. But Ice Cube went back and grabbed players who brought the attraction to folks. They brought back players that they know could play ball, that they wanted to see. And it was popular. I mean, it went around everywhere. I mean, I thought it was a great idea, but there's a reason. Why did it stop? One, you know, that's too much power for one man to have.
They coming back.
Oh, they all gonna come back?
Yeah, the little COVID stopped them. Yeah, they coming
okay.
back. Yeah.
Well, my bad on that, but I think it's unfair to the players, but I think the players in such a position of what they have now that they would just voice it. It won't be anything else acted upon, or they'd be willing to give up what they have to really, you know, stand and make a point about it, a true point about it.
Right. And Draymond is not big of a star to really be talking like this, to be honest with you, but he's right. But you would need a LeBron, a KD,
Yeah.
some of these top tier Stephen Curry to be voicing that opinion. But it ain't gonna change, I don't think. Because, you know, I ain't gonna go down. I could say some wild stuff, but I ain't gonna go there. But yeah, it's just not gonna go that way. These are rich individuals who basically look at you as a commodity.
For the most part.
Right. Now, that's not saying that some of these owners don't have great relationships with the players, you know, a Mark Cuban type of a guy. But at the end of the day, if you're not producing,
you're out.
You out the door. And like I said, it's enough money that these players have made players that has retired that y'all can get a 10-team league going. But as Dub said, nobody wants to get out of their comfort zone. You know that I think the NBA get paid twice a month. You know that check gonna hit. You can keep doing your thing and taking care of the fam, and you're not gonna ruffle no feathers. And that's the same thing, revolutions and all that. Talk is cheap, but to get out there and really do something about it, it takes action. So, that's my thought. You got anything else on it, Dal?
Nah, I think you guys pretty much summed it up.
All right. So, Al, do you think LeBron James is playing too many minutes?
Well, my personal opinion, I'm gonna say no before we dive in. I'm gonna say no.
I agree with you on that, Al.
Oh, man.
I'm interested to know where your
Yeah, I
response.
think LeBron playing too many minutes.
Why you feel that way?
Explain, T.
I just feel his age. I feel his age. I think that you would want him a little more rested come playoffs. But LeBron is a different athlete. I don't want to that's contradicting myself, but I know that LeBron is the type of athlete and he take care of himself to where he can handle the minutes. But I just feel like the Lakers would be better off with him playing lesser minutes and being fresher for the postseason.
Let me jump in real quick. I'm gonna say for the same reasons you just said, that's the reason why I say he's not playing enough minutes. He's on a different level. He prepares well. He keeps his body in shape. He eats well, and they need him. I'm a Lakers fan, so I know if LeBron sit out and play less minutes, the seeding counts in the playoffs. So he plays less minutes. That means they lose more games. That means a lower seeding. That means there's a chance they play against a greater team, and they might be out first, second round. So,
well, to me, I don't feel like seeding should be that just greatly important because, in my point of view, and I'm not a Lakers fan. You probably know more than me. I would think the main objective is to get Anthony Davis healthy. That Achilles is a tricky situation, and we've seen what 2 years ago with KD where he had a strain of the calf or a strain of the Achilles. He comes on back and he ends up tearing the Achilles. So now he's out for a whole year. So to me, long as you get AD back healthy, it really shouldn't matter what seed you are. Long as you have LeBron and AD healthy, I think you should be fine.
But I think that's the thing Al trying to touch on is that if LeBron sits more, the Lakers would run the risk of they either not making the playoffs or being so low of a seed that they don't stand a chance, even with full power coming back.
exactly.
I think that's
the indictment on the GM.
maybe. But if that's the case, why go all in on two superstars and not have any other room to do anything with anybody else?
Well, that's an indictment on the GM. I mean, you could have kept Rondo, but this is not a Laker podcast, so
Right. So my thing on why I don't think he's playing too many minutes is, I mean, when I look at players who maybe they get the opportunity for rest or they get rest is I guess historically they may have injuries. LeBron really hasn't historically dealt with any major injuries that I can think of. So
Great point.
to me, I look at it as his body can take what he signed up for. He signed up for a 3-4 year deal. He is mentally prepared for his body to be able to take it, whether he playing a whole lot of minutes or he not playing a whole lot of minutes. But historically, he hasn't earned is not the best word, but he hasn't been in a situation to where I think his minutes need to be lessened.
He on
See.
them roids.
I don't know, maybe.
See, let's not make no mistake here. Now we know that's your boy, so what I'm about to say you're gonna agree with. This is LeBron James we talk about here, man. Do you really think if he really wanted time off or he didn't want to play as many minutes as they're quote unquote making him play, that he would be sitting? Let me ask you that.
Do I think if he didn't want to play these minutes, would he sit?
Yeah.
I
agree. I agree.
So what I'm saying, I say that to say this is LeBron James doing. This is what he wants. It's what he chooses to do. He don't want to sit out, probably for the same reason me and Dub are touching on. Only he knows that. But we do know, and I think all of us can agree, that he can handle it. He's built for it. As Dub mentioned, I mean, the dude, he keeps his body up. He hasn't had any major injuries, and he feels like he can take over until, AD get back. Matter of fact, he stated that. He said, it's my job. I got to put them on my shoulder until AD gets back. So he steps up to the challenge, in my words. So if LeBron say he can do it, who am I to doubt him?
And that's, that's what the number one player in the world is supposed to do. So kudos to LeBron. Kudos to LeBron for that.
Salute.
And, I do think he can handle it, but man, at one point, LeBron is what? In the top 3 of 36. He's in the top 3 of minutes played in the league right now. I think damn near 38 some minutes a game. And he's 36 years old. So now
he's a freak, man.
Yeah, but at the same time, and the same thing with Tom Brady. I think they own something. They own some type of performance enhancer because Father Time has never lost. And you're just not that special to just do what you're doing at that level for this many years, man. That's a lot. So you gotta have something that's boosting you up. That's just my opinion.
It may be. I wouldn't doubt it. Of course, that ain't gonna be out there like that because they're gonna keep that on the hush. But regardless of what it is, they're winners. They keep winning. They're winning on different teams. So I mean, they're the GOATs right now. So until LeBron decide he don't want to play no more, until Tom Brady decide he don't want to play no more, it's gonna be there. But getting back on LeBron, this will all be settled once the playoffs come around. AD's back. They go ahead and spank some butt and win another championship. Then we'll say maybe win enough minutes.
Well, I don't know about winning another championship. You're stretching it a little bit far right now. But will they be back and in the playoffs and give a run? Yeah, I'm not convinced yet that they're. I'm not convinced yet they're gonna win the West.
When when I talk to Mo, I just don't see what all the Lakers have. And I said this last year and they won it. But when you lose a piece like Rondo, man, that's big. To me, that's big.
Last year they had some. They had length, man. Now they don't have that same length there.
Don't get me wrong, Dwight Howard. I just don't think the situation they got going is as good as they had last year. But I know that's not the topic, but Dub did.
Yeah, it's not the topic. We're going to definitely play this one back when they win it, though, because y'all said the same thing about, well, they don't have Avery Bradley. Well, they didn't have Avery Bradley last year, and they won the championship. So we won't go back and forth. It's yet to be determined, but when it happens, we'll play this one back and we'll all talk about, damn, Al was right again.
I don't think nobody up here said they didn't have Avery Bradley. Who's Avery Bradley?
You don't know who Avery Bradley is? He's way better than
I know,
Rondo.
but what is he gonna do? Play a little D?
Okay.
What you mean?
You mentioned Rondo.
You said that like we up here said that, but I didn't ever tell you that.
No. To help you out, I said they, meaning the critics. They said they couldn't win without Avery Bradley. That's the player they're gonna need. You're saying, to my T, you're saying they need Rondo. Now, I would think Avery Bradley is better than Rondo, but that's another story for another day.
Woo!
But they won without Avery Bradley, they can win without Rondo. That's just what I'm saying. That's all.
Playoff Rondo. All right, man. Hey, you all listening to the Sip Slow podcast, man. Al, do you have any All-Star Snubs?
Well, the most obvious that we all agreed, including LeBron, would have to be none other than Devin Booker. I'm going to keep it moving. Y'all go ahead.
Yeah.
You said other than who?
None other than Devin Booker.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most highlighted. And obviously he's gonna become now a fill-in, but why that man wasn't voted in, I have no idea. He's more than deserving.
I might be not knowing, but was he a reserve? I didn't think he was a reserve either, was he?
So somebody got hurt, or they can't be in it, and so he's gonna take their place now. I forgot who it is.
Yeah, y'all said Devin Booker.
But the craziest thing before y'all go in, they picked Chris Paul over Devin Booker. That should just end it right there. We ain't got to talk no more. Chris Paul over Devin Booker. Let's stop here.
Yeah, Chris Paul. He washed.
Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
We said Devin Booker, but I'm gonna be a homer, but I think Christian Wood should have made it for the Rockets. He's putting up 20 and 10. I think he was a worthy All-Star. That's just my opinion.
Well, they're probably looking at the fact he on the Rockets.
Well, let me ask you. I don't know much about him, but who did they pick over him? Let me ask you that, because that has a lot to do with it as well.
Oh man, AD, because he's a big man. He's a center, so AD.
How about this? Even better question: who would you replace for him? Let me ask you that.
Matter of fact, I think they put Booker in for AD.
Well,
I think. I don't know. Don't quote me now.
I don't know, Al, to be honest with you.
So you think it may be a little homer bias? Just a little bit?
Actually, man, I didn't even look at the All-Star teams like that because I should have, just to be prepared for the show, but and he's hurt too, so that might be a reason why he didn't replace AD or something like that. He had he's been out for an ankle injury for about looked like 10 games here, so
okay, that plays a factor. Also. Yes, sir.
But
I really don't even put much value into the All-Star game no more. At one point, it used to be like fun. I want to see I want to see such and such them go head to head. Now it's not even.
It's a popularity vote, man.
Like that. Yeah,
that's all it is. It's how popular you are, man.
It's just crazy.
Yep, that's it. So fellas, we come to that point, man. Doug, what did you learn today?
I learned that, man. Sometimes you just gotta follow your mind and not your body, and say no. It ain't happening tonight, baby.
I got 100%. Well, Yeah, I'm on the same level with Dub. I learned that Al is, he gonna go in regardless he's mad or not. He going in.
Well, the crazy thing, I was gonna say that same thing, but I can't do all three and we all tie together. Nah. Because I was gonna say I learned that because y'all told me I need to start doing that. But I'm gonna switch it over and say I learned that relationships can be 50-50. It's all about how you look at it.
Hmm.
For sure, for sure. That's right.
That's good stuff.
Um, man, another great show. Um, First off, let me say this. One of our loyal listeners, Philip Henderson, he's going to run for Warden School Board, Warden ISD School Board, Warden, Texas. He announced that earlier this week on Facebook. So if anyone listening to this in Warden, uh, whenever it's time to go out, let's go vote for him. Uh, we need some passionate people and some more people to represent us in different places. And also, Philip, whenever you hear this, man, we still need some of that barbecue, some of that smoked meat, for the show. You're a friend of the show, so uh, holler at us, man. We appreciate Lloyd for listening and checking us out and interacting. We hope to get more people to do that. Um, we haven't had an email question in a while, but our email is sipslowpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook, Sip Slow Podcast. Um, just reach out to us. We just trying to grow and put out good content for people to think and have a good time. Something you can sit around with your people and sip on something and think about it. Yeah, Lord, we gonna get some merch going, man, but you gotta cry before you walk. So with that being said, shout out to all the listeners. We have listeners all over the US, Florida, Texas, even overseas. So we appreciate all y'all for tuning in and we thank you, Doug.
Man, yeah, I definitely have enjoyed it. Shout out to Al too, man. Al put his life on the line every day, man. He got to go out there into them hospitals,
Right.
make sure things are still working correctly, and he got a newborn. So I always want to commend those who are amongst that virus, on an ongoing basis, just because of their job. But salute to each of you brothers. Mo in his absence, Duke in their absence. You know, definitely couldn't do it without everybody. But again, hope all y'all have a wonderful week and have enjoyed it.
Al?
Hey, appreciate you, my brother, Mr. J Dub, man. That's real. Respect. Um, yeah, I enjoyed it today, man. I appreciate my boy Lloyd tuning in. And Lloyd, you're probably right. In about 10 years, I'm probably gonna understand what y'all guys saying. But until then, I'm going in. But yeah. So great show, guys. And I'm gonna try it one time just to see how it go. But if it backfire, I will be bringing it back to the show. I'm
All
out.
Well,
righty.
let's just say you try it because you want to try it, not because what you learned, you heard from her.
For sure, man. Uh, yeah, and once again, like we talking about Lord because Lord is commenting live while we recording this on Facebook. So if you want to interact with us, please join us. I normally put out uh, when we're gonna record on Facebook on our Facebook show page. So make sure you like that page. And as always, man, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you here with us, and we appreciate that. And as always, man, we're gonna sip slow. We're gonna live fast.